Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
I'm your host, Jordyn.
And I'm your host, Alex.
And today we have a man at the table with us.
Yes, I am a man.
Speaking of
and
the
I'm
microphone.
at the table.
Is he your first male guest, but that's non-Barstool?
I thought you said it's non-binary, and I was like, nice. Cool.
What podcast am I on? What
And
are we
we're
doing?
canceled. No, I think he's our first male guest, non-Barstool.
Yeah, I think you are too.
Really?
Yeah.
What an honor.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Wow. How'd that happen?
Well, we asked about 20 others. They all said
They
no.
all
and I
said
said,
no. Like, all right, she's going through a tough time. I'll do her a favor.
Now that Alex
Sure.
is single, guys are like, well, maybe I'll come on the pod now.
We're just like,
You getting a lot of people sliding in your DMs?
you know,
Are you sliding into other people's DMs?
no,
Oh.
I'm not. But I will say, like, I didn't have that problem for a very long time, and that has become interesting.
Yeah.
And guys have got to get better at that.
Yeah.
Like,
Why? What is like the lamest thing you've seen lately?
hey, what's up? Do you want to go get dinner and drinks? Like, no, like, I don't want to.
What would you prefer, they say?
Just anything enticing, because that to me is the bare. I audibly laugh thinking about me responding, being like,
Okay.
yeah, when and where.
Yeah.
So I think you should say, because all you can see is the first, to open it, it has to be enticing.
Yeah.
So don't say hi.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
like a really witty, funny response of
Okay.
like short. I think shorter is better. I don't want to read a lot.
Okay.
And make it good.
Got it. All right.
Remember what you used to do to me? Have people submit applications? I'm going to have them do that for me to submit for you now.
Well, the answer is I hate them all.
You hate,
what-
you
you know how I
guys, you
felt.
should do a dating show where the guy's in the hot seat and they do speed dating and you have to pick one, like kind of like a Bachelor series on your show.
You know, we've had that idea pitched to us
Wow.
1,000 times.
And why haven't you done it?
I don't, because when I was single, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, but now you have an eligible Bachelorette here.
Do you want to do that?
Would you be the Bachelorette?
No.
Yeah.
You'd make a great Bachelorette. You would be a great Bachelorette.
I think I would my brain would explode in the process.
Well, everyone's brain explodes in the process.
Did your brain explode in the process?
I mean, I wasn't the lead, but yeah, exploded.
I would,
God.
I don't know, because I'd be like in love with 3 of them, and then like,
Yeah, that's why you would be a great Bachelorette. That's you're proving my
Also,
point.
do you want to intro who we have on
Yeah,
the pod?
Yeah,
can
before
you
you
say
talk-
hello?
talk for like 20
Hi,
minutes.
everybody.
Jason's like,
Nice mystery man.
Like, who is this man? Watch on YouTube and you'll know.
please, they all know exactly who it is. No, so I actually I don't want to intro you in front of you, but I'm going
Okay.
to because
You nervous?
no, you don't make me nervous.
Oh, okay.
What makes me nervous
Shit.
is not shit.
There goes that.
What I'm nervous about is not doing you justice.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I think
very
you
nice.
deserve. Yeah, I think you
That
deserve
is
like a
nice.
very good intro.
That's really nice.
So I just feel a bit of pressure here.
It's thoughtful. So you are nervous.
No, I feel pressure.
Pressure.
Does that mean I'm nervous?
No.
Difference between pressure and nerves?
I think there's a difference.
Nerves, I think.
You think there's a difference? Pressure and nerves?
Chugs.
Nerves, yeah.
Yeah.
This is your podcast. You should feel no pressure or nerves.
I just want to do it right for him.
Aw.
All right.
right.
That's
Okay.
so sweet of you.
So our
I feel like touched by that.
People are listening. Are like, all right, can we just figure out who's on the pod?
okay.
What is this shit show I'm on?
That's why we don't record after 2 p.m.
So I was just right.
Intro him before you
Okay,
continue.
but remind me to tell you the story about how he thinks we have 10,000 listeners.
Okay.
Because he just told me that.
No, I didn't
He-
say that. I didn't say that.
Oh, he's on my shit list for sure
No.
now.
And by he,
No.
she means Jason Tartic. That's the
No.
guest on today's episode. Just segue right
I told
there.
your mom that he was on my shit list before you guys walked in.
Why? What'd I do?
We'll
You
add,
were
We'll
late.
add to that.
Oh,
We'll add to that
fucking
story.
late to
But for
everything.
you intro him.
Okay, I would say
Yeah.
typically we write our intros, but this one's not written, so this
Okay.
is just
Speaking from the
off
heart.
the cut. Your most, I don't think where I'm struggling is I want to say you're most known for being on The Bachelorette.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
But
Yeah.
I think what you did really well was you were on The Bachelorette and you were perceived great there. And people like you. You were likable. And you took that and you did something really cool with it, which was before that, you were in finance.
Yes.
And so, and your whole thing is now you have a podcast and you're an author and you're a social media personality and you're a business owner. And I think what you do really well as far as the podcast goes is you take things that you can't learn in college, like everyday financial struggles, and you put them in layman's terms for people.
Yes, yeah.
And you bridge the gap there.
Yeah, I think you nailed that. That was awesome.
And our guest
and very
is?
nice.
I said it was Jason. I remember before that. I did say that part. And I think that you're extremely good at it. People love your podcast. Like when I posted that I was with you recording, my
Yeah.
DMs were like, I love his podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
And I think you do a really good job of explaining finances and all the shit that we don't get and they don't tell you in college.
Yeah.
I think you do a great job.
And people
explaining
try to make it like so boring and dry, and it is. Like finance and money is boring and dry, but you can also make it like sexy and easy to understand and digestible. And that's like what I try to do.
I love that. Also, our listeners were pumped to have you on.
Oh my God. That's
were-
what do you guys call your listener base?
that. 10,000.
10,000?
Oh, yeah.
Can we
people.
go back
Hey,
to
listener
that?
base, thank you. I'm pumped to be here.
We just say we don't have listener like name for our listeners because we don't have any.
Like your
apparently.
community.
There are none,
Wait,
so we don't
all right,
name
let
them.
me explain
Yeah,
this.
what?
I'll break it down. So I just had Alex on Trading Secrets. It was great because I had her before she negotiated her Barstool contract, which we
Yes.
now know, spoiler alert, it did not get renewed. And I had her after, all in one episode, talking about the whole thing. And I said, what was the gross revenue that you guys generated at Barstool? And she said 650,000. I was like, oh, wow. I was like,
He's like, nah.
I'm back in the, I own an agency too. So I got the
Yeah.
number, I'm like 650. I was like, how many downloads you guys get? And she told me, and I was like, oh, okay.
He goes,
Yeah,
oh, that checks out.
Checks.
I said, well,
That
what?
checks.
I said around 100.
I didn't say
Yeah.
10,000.
And he goes, oh, well, that number would make sense. But in his mind, he's thinking, because this is why you were confused. You're thinking 650, 30,000 down.
I
The
mean,
math's
that's
not
what you're
mathing.
making an assumption there. That's an assumption. I didn't. No.
I know.
Your last week's episode is way above 100,000.
Now get
downloads.
divorced and you're at the 200.
Oh, that's what you got to do. So I should talk about my relationship. Okay, got it.
The title of this episode.
So why
Trading
we had
Secrets,
you on
relationship
here was
version. Yeah.
Trading relationship advice.
what not to do.
Wow.
Saga with Alex. No.
What is the one that? What is the deepest? Like, if someone listened to that or hasn't listened to that divorce episode, what is the biggest thing they should know from it? And what's the biggest thing you said?
I think the biggest takeaway from that episode, I give no advice in it. I'm just telling the story.
Okay.
But I think the biggest takeaway was it's okay to understand your heart wants something different and then to follow that, even though like societal, I'm from Oklahoma, like you're not getting divorced. We weren't arguing
Yeah.
every day. Like,
Yeah.
but it's like our life paths are different
Yeah.
and you only live once. So just go ahead and follow that path.
I like that. That's beautiful.
And I would say that you and Graham are on very good terms. There's no bad blood between you guys, and there's no sides.
None at all.
That's super healthy.
It's so healthy.
And I also learned in the podcast that she is an unbelievable arguer, and she claims that she wins every argument, which means that she loses every argument.
No, I would say that she is
She's
a very
good.
good arguer. Yeah.
Are you a good
She's-
arguer?
It depends with her. I mean, she's a little scary.
Yeah.
We've never gotten like a full blown argument, but I don't want to get in a full blown argument with you.
I also avoid a lot of arguments because
I would love to get in an argument with you.
I think Alex would win. I'm gonna be
No
honest. She is like
way.
crazy. I don't want to.
We're going to have an argument.
Yeah.
you can send me a topic and I will argue it with you.
But you do a
We'll
great
think
job
about
because you have such good communication skills. So usually it doesn't result in an argument because you talk about it before
I
it gets
was gonna
there.
say I don't go around arguing with people. Like a lot of times I probably have less arguments in a year than the average person.
Yeah.
Because I can be
Yeah.
like, problem is this, solution should be somewhere in this ballpark, and so
Got
we're
it.
good, right?
Okay.
And like we're not arguing. So we don't argue.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I've only really seen you like full blown argue when we did that thing with Dave and maybe a few other times for work, never like an actual personal argument.
I feel like you arguing on the pod, if you claim to be such a great arguer, would be actually really good for the business. People would love to hear you battle.
Winter is here, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what that means. Struggling to find the right temperature when you sleep. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, I've been so hot, so cold. The good news is we recently found a way to stay at the perfect temperature all night long using silver-infused bed sheets by Miracle Made that were inspired by NASA. And if NASA doesn't know what they're talking about, then no one does. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on the quality of your sleep? If you wake up too hot or too cold, we highly recommend you check out Miracle Made bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long because there is nothing better than a good night's sleep.
And I'm very much obsessed. I use these obviously every night, and I'm a sweaty sleeper, and I don't sweat anymore with these.
And that's because they have the self-cooling properties for better quality sleep. And the best part is, you guys, they are self-cleaning, meaning these sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than normal sheets. No more gross odors and no more of like the skin cell turnover that happens at night. I know it's really gross. It gets rid of all of that. And the best news, they make for the perfect holiday gift. Miracle sheets are perfect for your spouse, your friends, or your family because guess what? Who doesn't want the gift of better sleep? And since they come with 3 free towels, you basically get 2 gifts in one. So you're the real hero. Just in time for the holidays. Go to trymiracle.com/meangirl to try it today or gift it to somebody special this holiday season. That's trymiracle.com/meangirl, and you'll get over 40% off. You'll get your 3 free towels, and you'll save an extra 20% off. Also, Miracle is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you get a full refund. I love when a company puts their money where their mouth is. So again, upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/meangirl. That's trymiracle.com/meangirl to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Trymiracle.com/meangirl.
Well, she does a pretty good job in our meetings.
I'll play devil's advocate. Like, I won't agree with her.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the tip is, somebody will ask, like if somebody asks us something or if a topic comes up, no matter what she picks, even if I agree with her, I will pick the other side.
Yeah.
On a topic.
Gotcha.
And just take that.
Do you play devil's advocate sometime intentionally?
All the time.
Yeah, me too. I like that.
Yeah, you have to. I feel like
I like to go
conversation
against the norm
interesting.
in those conversations just to challenge people a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, and I think if you're like open-minded and you don't view arguing as a bad thing, like you just view it as another form of communication,
Sure,
and you're open-minded with it, then like you can get to actually really
you can
good
grow
spot.
from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
I hate the word arguing.
Me too. It has a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
Were you on the debate team?
I was.
I was going to
Really?
say that's what
I sure was.
Like actually?
Yes.
Can we get clips of this?
Maybe if they clipped it. Yeah. Let me check back.
Are you the #1 debater in Oklahoma?
Well, no. I was on it in college.
Oh wow!
Like for fun. Like it was a club.
Interesting.
I was in the club. And then you learned how to formulate arguments.
Were you a big club person?
No, he can't interview me on
I know, I was
he can't do
is this Jason's podcast?
No,
Is it-
stop.
I'm totally flipping the script.
Shut
First,
up.
we have 10,000 followers.
We didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about the clubs.
You already had your
Are you
time.
a big club girl? Okay, I'm here to
No.
listen. I'm
Yeah,
here to answer. You
just
ask me
answered.
questions.
You don't have to carry this. We got it.
Yeah, what have you been up to the past few months, Jason?
Oh
Let's
my
put you in the
God,
hot
it's been
seat.
crazy. It's
Besides
been
running late.
Just like crying, running late, smiling. I don't know.
Alex and
Everything.
Jason were 20 minutes late, by the way, guys.
That is like one of my biggest issues in life, punctuality.
Really?
I'm so bad at it.
That surprises me because
so
you're
bad at it.
you have like that finance background.
I know, but it's like, I don't know. Do you think I've always been like that, or do you think it's gotten worse? It's
He's
gotten
talking to his
worse.
manager, by
I
the
think
way.
the busier it gets, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
But I did see something the other day from
I disagree.
Steve Harvey from Family Feud. He said that people that run late actually live longer because they're a little bit more carefree.
Okay,
They're not so.
Unless they get hit by a car. Like, you just never, like, when people say these stats about people living longer, I just want to say there's too many variables.
Yeah,
I don't
it's true.
think I-
People are living longer, though. That's a fact. We can argue this.
Yeah.
They're also getting hit by cars, but that's fine.
I just think I have good time management. I don't think I'm like more punctual than the other person. So
Yeah.
I can just see a clock or a calendar perfectly in my brain.
That's a skill set.
Yeah.
Truly. That's
Yeah.
a skill. Like, and I always under budget. So I'm like, oh, I'll take a shower and it'll be 3 minutes and it's like 12 minutes. Or I'm gonna get dressed. It's gonna take 10. It takes 20. I under budget.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this, and so for 2 years now with her,
Yeah.
she will not be late, and
God,
but
good
but
for
she
you.
and
I've
she's
been late before though, and I've heard
and but that's like a pillar of yours.
Yeah.
Like, if we need to leave, we need to leave. I will push that and then go over the line.
Okay.
Are you okay with being late, or if you're running 20 minutes late on the way there, are you freaking out, or are you like, what are we gonna do?
It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, but so she like she's not showering in that moment if she knows that that's like the difference between her. But like, you're down to do that.
Yeah. It depends on the moment, honestly. It's such a bad answer, but I think typically I will do what I gotta get done, knowing I'm gonna be late.
Same. I will do.
You know what I
take
mean?
that
I think that
sacrifice.
answers the question. But I'm pretty good at like communicating, like, hey, just so you know, I'm gonna be 10 minutes late.
So I'm the weakest link at the table because I'll just be 10 minutes late.
Yeah. Do you want, okay. Yeah.
I know your mom, because I told Kim, I was like, I'm mad at these two. And she's like, well, how do you deal with Alex always being late? And I was like, well, she doesn't count anymore because she's always late. Like, I'm just used to. I always like add an extra 30 minutes onto our schedule now.
Have you ever missed a flight?
Wednesday.
Really? See,
Yep,
those
missed
like
it.
things that are like non-negotiable, I'm always on time for.
There's
them.
always another
I'm
flight.
Tonight's flight.
there's
Tonight, so
always
yeah, I'm
another-
about to miss one in a second
God,
now.
all right, there's always another flight. There you go.
I want to ask him a question that's not on the docket.
Okay.
But in the spirit of your cons,
Sure.
of like running late, what are the other two? Like if you had to
Yeah.
give a top 3 like worst personality traits.
I like
worst
that.
personality traits. This is okay. This is such a bullshit thing where I'm doing the thing where I'm like giving a strength that's actually, but it is true. It is true.
The
It is
interview
true.
tactic.
Okay.
I am. So this is when I am loyal to a fault.
Okay,
I'm,
no.
I am.
Okay, no,
I'm loyal
that's
to a
okay,
fault.
this is
I'm gonna go.
boring.
I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to. No. It's gotten me in a lot of trouble. Like I over trust. I'm over loyal. I'm over committed. And it can be an issue. And I'm telling you,
Okay,
it can
that
be.
can be an issue.
I'm
I can
telling
see
you,
that.
it can be. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to a real one because that was a fake bullshit one.
Right.
I suck. What's weird is like I suck at stepping into hard conversations, but you wouldn't expect that,
Oh.
right?
Interesting.
So
and deep.
I like in relationships or in like very good like business partnerships, I have to feel really comfortable to like step in hard to hard conversations as opposed to just sweeping it under the rug because sometimes the path of least resistance is just easier. And that is a huge negative because you're running from growth, you're running from honesty, you're running from pretty much everything. So that's like one thing I've worked on. And another thing is like self-sacrifice, like always thinking of like doing so much, I guess, like maybe that I don't want to do or saying yes to things I don't want to be at because I think the person might want me there or something. So like putting myself first, I'm not good at that. I self-sacrifice a lot.
So
Like I'm a yes guy.
Oh.
When's your
Yes.
birthday?
October 24th.
She's about to do this whole
Are
thing.
you a Libra?
Scorpio.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
I was
crazy.
totally gonna guess Libra
Yeah,
based off of
Scorpio.
those responses.
Yeah.
Just on the stepping into hard conversations thing, if
Yeah.
you don't step into it, like if you're like, this person's driving me crazy and
Sure.
there needs to be a conversation here, but I'm just gonna avoid it.
Yeah.
When you go home that night, are you thinking about it or can you leave that there?
I'm pretty. I'll think about it. I think it also comes down to the truth of it is just it comes down to setting boundaries. I'm really bad at that. So I've gotten a lot. I've like put in a lot of work to like really set healthy boundaries. And with boundaries, healthy people receive the boundaries that you put in place. And as a result of that, everything grows. Everything becomes more honest and real. So I just suck at boundaries, but I'm getting better.
At least you're aware.
I was gonna say it takes a lot for a
Yeah.
guy to say that. I
Yeah.
think.
Very self-aware, which is good.
Fucking 2-3 weeks of therapy every 2-3 weeks, 60-90 minutes.
Do you have a hard time having those conversations around finance since that's your world?
No, I'm so comfortable with it. Yeah, because
Interesting.
it's so objective. It's
Okay.
not like an opinion. I'm not annoyed by this or I'm feeling this from this. It's so black and white. That's why I love it. And numbers don't lie. Everyone lies. Everyone deceives. Everyone manipulates. Everyone throws things out of context today, not more than ever. But numbers don't lie. They tell the truth.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
okay.
Should we talk about numbers?
I have a question for you.
That's a segue.
Okay.
Don't
Because we
call-
just talked about numbers.
Well, we don't want to duplicate the podcast.
Yeah.
We want people to listen to both.
Well, you guys have so many listeners. How
many listeners do you have,
pouring out.
Jason?
Not as many as you guys.
Since numbers
Not
don't lie.
200,000.
Yeah, numbers are
My
a fact.
God.
In the spirit of,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
Let's talk about Skims because our favorite part of the holiday season is bundling up with the whole family for holiday card picks, cozy nights around the fire. And Jordan and I are obsessed with the next gen shapewear and the robes and the loungewear. So we've got our whole family matching in Skims and the gifts under the trees, especially for our mothers. Skims. I'm always wrapping gifts last minute during the holiday season. So my favorite part is being able to have everything already done. And their prepackaged Skims holiday boxes, they are so cute and they are perfect for stocking stuffers. So specifically, I have the cozy unisex robe in onyx and I got the soft lounge sleep set. Jordan got the same thing with some smoke sparkle print. And you guys, I have been living in it. The robe is so comfortable. Talk about the PJs, J-Dub.
Yeah, so I wear the pajamas to bed every single night, and they are long sleeve and pants, and I don't sweat. They're so cooling, and I also have to say for the robe, I wear it every day when I get out of the shower and throughout the entire workday, and it keeps me so warm and cozy. I'm obsessed.
Your favorite Skims staples fits like Everybody cotton, soft lounge, and sleep, and are now available in cheerful colors and festive prints. It really makes the holidays so much more fun, but you guys, it still stays cozy. Plus, Skims' signature holiday collections are back for the season and designed for the whole entire family. You've never been so cozy for the holidays. They are available in sizes extra, extra small, all the way through 4X for women in unisex styles. And you can start the newborn sizing for children's styles. Skims makes holiday shopping so easy, with styles for everybody, and it is comfort for everybody. Give the gift that keeps on giving. Believe the hype. Skims has over 100,000 five-star reviews for a reason, and the Skims holiday shop is now open at skims.com. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $75. And remember, you guys, after you place your order, be sure to let them know that we've sent you. Select podcast in the survey, and be sure to click Mean Girl Pod on the drop-down menu.
What's your background? Like, how did you get into finance and loving it? Because it's interesting. A lot of people who have a normal career and then get into the public eye don't usually go back to their old career. They usually kind of just take advantage of the public figure role. Yeah. And I feel like you are doing both. Like, I think of you as finance first.
Yeah, well, I love that. That was kind of the goal. My strategy with it, you guys know Tyler Cameron?
Yeah.
Okay, so absolute stud beauty. And I tell this story all the time. I work with Tyler. We've done deals with him. He got off the show, and I got a Colgate deal. It was the year before. I just got off the show, and it was a good paid deal. And the next round, Tyler gets the Colgate deal. He has more followers. He's bigger. He's better looking. He's got it all. How can I compete with that? He'll always get more when it comes to rate. Same brand. We both brush our teeth. There's nothing to differentiate. So that was my moment. I was like, all right, I got to think about something to differentiate. Otherwise, the Colgate deal is going to go to the next person, next person, next person. So that's when I was like, I need to go step into what I already know. And that's when I started carving out this like personal finance, financial transparency stuff. And now as a result of it, I might get a Capital One deal or a QuickBooks deal. And they're asking me to have like, deep acumen with my delivery and things that like Tyler couldn't do. And Tyler could do a lot of things better than I can do. But that was my example of how I wanted to differentiate. And that's like worked out pretty well so far.
That's cool.
That is like it's cool that you had that wherewithal to say like, I need to differentiate myself. How do you think of yourself?
In regards to like my brand? Or?
Yeah, your brand. Like break it down.
I would say, when you tell me more though, what do you want to know?
I want to know like you clearly thought about it. So overall, you're like, I want to do a little bit in the Bachelor universe.
Yeah.
Finance
okay,
mainly.
Yeah. Well, I have to know that the platform came from The Bachelor. They're there for The Bachelor. What is The Bachelor? The Bachelor is opening my entire personal life. Like they're there for my journey. But then how do I take things that are important to their life and then carve it out? So I would say, but the problem is people from The Bachelor that try to niche down, they just go all in. So they become a fitness instructor, and the only thing you see is fitness videos. And the whole reason that audience came there was to understand their life and be part of it, not just fitness videos. And they lose engagement, and it goes to shit. So that's why I created the podcast and that page. I was like, I'll do most of the finance stuff over there. But I'd say on my like pages, I would do like 20% finance. I would say 20% lifestyle, and then like 60% just what's happening in my life personally.
You.
Yes, you. Yeah. So it's only like 20 to 30% finance. Because if I put too much in, I'll bore the audience.
So you understood at the core who the Bachelor demographic was.
Yes.
And then adjusted accordingly.
Exactly. And I think that goes for anyone back home doing anything. Like you have to know who your audience is. Whether it's your boss, whether it's someone you're selling to, whether it's even like kids that you're teaching if you're a teacher. Like you have to know and customize your approach to what you're doing and how based on who the audience is.
Do you see what he did there? He was doing this the whole time we were podcasting. He takes
that?
what he's saying and then he gives advice on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's like, and I think you should think about things that way. So we can't ever really give advice because we're like lifestyle, right? So we're talking, but like you're with your numbers and things.
Yeah.
You can be like, and so what you should do with that information is.
Oh, I fully wrap it up.
You wrap it up, you put a bow on it, and then you give a gift to the audience.
Yeah, like this audience, if we only talk numbers, if we were just like, okay, give me 3 tips for finances, they'd be bored. But like the stuff we're bantering before, you talk a little relationship stuff and stuff like that. Like you got to sprinkle that in.
So the idea was bring you into our wheelhouse.
Yes.
And then understand our demographic is, do you want to guess our demographic?
Yeah, I'm going to say it is 90% women 95% women. I'm going to say 18 to 35.
So we are wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
We are a proud 50-50 split.
No way.
On social.
Wait,
on
no
social.
way.
Yeah.
50-50.
Because guys feel like they're listening to the girls like dissect how the date went.
What?
And they want an inside view on that.
50-50?
Audio 70-30, but social
I am
50-50.
blown away by that.
I think he had a lot of
What?
assumptions about us, Alex.
That's interesting.
And so our current takeaway, which we don't usually give any, is just, don't assume.
yes. I know I have so many questions, but I just like don't want to cross the line.
What do you want to ask? I'll tell you, because now I know how to set boundaries. So I'll just be like, nope, not going there.
Well, because both of, and this is kind of a question for both of you guys, because how old are you?
35.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I think I'm like
looking at her
trying
like,
not to make
You're old as dirt. All right, got it. You're single at 35. You okay?
I think a lot of people,
No,
since
I'm
we asked Alex this question, since guys do listen, you were in a long-term relationship.
Yep.
Now you're not. Like, how do you feel about, in a way, I hate using this, but like restarting your life? Like, you have a lot of hobbies, which is great. But I think a lot of people get out of long-term relationships later on in life and they don't know what to do.
Yeah, totally.
And we got that female perspective, so it'd be great to get the male.
Yeah. Well,
You can next that if you want.
Yeah,
though.
you don't have to say
I'll
relationship
take it.
centric,
I'll
and we
take
said
it.
no.
No, I literally I joked around about this recently. My first book was called The Restart Roadmap.
Oh.
And I'm like, wow, I really need to go read my own words now.
Living this.
But it's a lot. I think the only thing, the biggest thing is you have to make yourself a priority, and you have to like really dig into your feelings. Like I was not a feelings guy. I was a checkbox guy. I now know my feelings at a deeper level than I ever have, and I can communicate them. And because I can communicate them and I understand them, I'm creating connections deeper with people that I really need to let into my life. And as a result of that, I'm growing at a speed that I never anticipated. So while I'm 35 and single, I feel like I'm more connected to myself than I ever have been. And it's such a better position to just win in the game of life, like in all areas. So while it is a setback, while there are days that suck, there are moments that you think twice, like, how did I end up here 35 and single? What's going on? Where did I go wrong? I feel like I'm in a better position for everything I do want out of life now more than I was a month ago. And that's all you can do. Like, cause this life is crazy. Curveballs happen. You made this comment, like, get hit by a bus tomorrow. Like, you just don't know. And if you're not putting yourself in a position to be better than you were yesterday, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. And the second you say you got to figure it out, or there's no room for growth and there's no room for learning, is a time you got to check yourself, because there's not a human here, not a human in the world that doesn't have an ability to grow or learn. So
I love that. I think we need to normalize being single in your 30s and restarting later on in life. And I know a lot of people listen. That's always something that, it's more females, but they'll be like, I got divorced or I broke up. Now I don't know what to do because they were my whole life. And so I think it's just good to hear that.
One thing that I thought about was like, if people really do live longer, right? So let's say we all live to be 100.
yeah.
Scary.
Which I
No, thank you.
I think women live longer than men.
Yes.
And I think the average life expectancy for women right now is like close to 80.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
I could do it.
Maybe even
I'm fine
above.
with 80. I don't want to hit 90. We're good. Like,
I have 87
You'll
in
be
my
killing.
brain.
You guys will be killing it now. You'll still have this fucking podcast.
Oh, we will.
Yeah,
be.
you're talking about the nursing home, like the dudes that are hitting on you. I hear there's a lot of sex going on in nursing homes.
It's a whole entire
they
thing.
say it's like
Ew.
there's articles on Wall Street about this. There are more STIs in nursing homes than like anywhere right
That's
now.
disgusting.
Good for them.
I feel like you could die from STI as an older person, though.
But what a way to go out.
Go out. Yeah.
But like,
What are we
so how
doing
did
here?
your grandpa die? You know, gonorrhea got him.
got an STD in the nursing home. I'd be like, good for
Wow.
them.
Grandpa crushed you.
Yeah, like, whoa.
Jeez, Grandpa Letty, you dog.
Did you like see, were you like, do you read physical newspapers or?
Physical.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I also like a notepad still. Like,
It must
Totally.
be written down
yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah.
So you like saw like nursing homes have, and you were like, that's my article.
Yeah, I was like, check that one. This is cool.
I need another cup of coffee because I'm going to be reading this. Okay, so if people live to be 80 or 90,
Yeah.
and you think about like restarting in your 30s, like the restart period is longer than the previous time.
Totally.
Like I had to think about that. I was like, okay, we're about to sacrifice 5 years. That's how long I was married. So like
Yeah.
you sacrifice that 5 for like a fresh 80 minus 30, 50?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay,
Nailed it.
50 years. And I'm like, why would you not press restart like earlier rather than later if you knew it?
I think a lot of people just assume their life ends when they hit a certain age.
I think they do assume
Yeah.
that.
There was so we were just at Chris Harrison's wedding, and Elon Gale's one of the big producers of The Bachelor, or was. He was pretty much the brains behind the operation for so long, and now does other shows. And he's such an interesting artist. And he made a comment the other day. He's like, there's one sin in this life, one and only one. And I was like, well, what is it? We're here for such a short period of time. You could do anything. Like, we're humans, we're living. You can wear what you want, drink what you want, go act how you want. To live a boring life is the biggest sin a human could have. And it just like hit me. He's like, why? There's so much out there, and so many people just live such a boring life, just in complacency or deteriorating complacency, when we have such finite time. Like, go out there, take a swing, take a shot, start a media company, go do your thing. Like, why not? You have such little time here. Don't live a boring life. And if you find that, like, you feel like you are in a boring life, I'm going to wrap it up here for people back home. If you feel like you're
Please
boring
don't.
life,
I know. I'm like, I feel like I should go out now.
No, just try one day. Just be like, this day, I'm not going to be boring. I'm not going to be stuck in my routine. I might say something or think something or express something that I never have. Like, just try it once, and then the ball will roll. But I loved what he said about that.
I love that.
I'm like inspired.
Well, because you and I
no
came
one
from
thinks you live a boring
lives.
life.
We came from boring lives, though.
Just kidding.
I was gonna say, but we had to fight. Do you know
Yeah.
what I say? Like, sometimes when someone's like, "You look like you're having so much fun," I'm like, "Let me be very clear that I earned
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
True.
That was not just. I had to
True.
say, like,
True.
what do I want? Okay, you got the guts to go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like frothing at every word you were saying.
You know that I know that like inspired me. I'm like, I need to leave right now and like, go skydiving.
Go take a shot or something.
Yeah, it's like, and well, then you gotta
Yeah.
start asking yourself, like, what is living
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah, that's true.
And then it's
Yeah.
like,
I just got this thing. It's this. It's like called Minute Memento or something. It's the scariest thing, but it's also perspective. So it has every box is a week of your life, and it has a year, and each year is 52 boxes,
Oh, God.
and it fills where it's at. Right. So I'm at 35, and it shows up till 80, and every week you're supposed to draw one in, and it is terrifying. It is scary when you see all those boxes. You're like, holy shit! But it's also a perspective of how many times you think you say no to something. You're like, I don't want to go. I'm tired, or whatever it might be. And you're just like, what are we doing? It is like, you have so many boxes to fill, and we're getting there. Like, it's crazy. So own it, have fun with it, enjoy it.
but do you feel like we talk about this sometimes, and I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
When you're saying yes to things,
Yeah.
in the spirit like of protecting time and energy, of saying yes to like really good things and then no to things that will like distract you
Yeah.
on the other portion. Like, do you think it's like less YOLO-y and more like these are
That's like 100% the healthy thing. Yeah, like finding what like fills you up versus brings you down, and like knowing your boundaries and saying no. Yeah, I feel like you got to do that.
I feel like that's hard for people.
I
though.
suck at that.
I'm so bad
I'm
at that.
terrible at that.
Because also I think living your best life is taking advantage of your time and like,
Taking care of yourself.
yeah, and taking care of yourself so
Yeah.
you can live the next day to the best of your ability.
So then you're like, I won't go out on this night, but I will go on this one.
Yes.
Unless you really
Yeah.
want to.
Right. And this is where yeah.
Because sometimes people ask you to go out and you're like, I don't actually want to go out with you. It
Your
might be,
gut.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, like
You're
your gut kind of like checks in and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, so how often do you iterate?
Iterate.
Check, like zoom out and say, all right,
I was like, I don't even
I was like, I've
Iterate?
never been asked
I don't know
that
what that
question. Well, I'm just like, you're like,
iteration? Like, how often
yeah.
do you zoom out and say, let me check in here. What needs to change? Like,
Oh.
I got to focus more on X. Like, how often are we iterating?
I do that daily.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Quick pause to talk about AG1 because when my digestion system does not feel its best, I don't feel as focused. I feel sluggish. My immune system doesn't feel supported, and I feel stressed. So I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health, something my mom always talks about, which in turn gives me a boost of energy. My immune system has support. And I hate taking pills and vitamins because I can never find them. And I wanted a supplement that actually tastes good. So when I started AG1, I instantly could notice a difference in my daily health. And I noticed I had more energy and I was thinking clearly. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate the baseline of everyone's health. Not only did I replace my multivitamin with AG1, but I love that every scoop includes prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes for the gut. Even my parents, my friends, Jordan, Pete, we got everybody taking it because AG1 really does give everybody more energy and it supports their immune system, which is very important around the holidays. And better gut health is a direct translation to better health overall, and your stress levels feel more manageable. So if you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/meangirl. That's drinkag1.com/meangirl. Check it out. Enjoy.
No,
I'm also like, are you a critic of yourself? I'm a big critic of myself.
Yeah.
So because I'm a critic of myself, I always think about our podcast. I'm like, well, I forgot to do this. I forgot to say this. Why didn't I do this? Like I beat myself up. So I'm like constantly checking myself.
but like
Are you saying make like massive changes?
pretty massive changes.
I do
Like
it.
auditing your life?
Kind of.
I try and do it as much as you can, right?
No,
Do
me too.
you?
Yeah, I do. I think I'm like every 3 weeker.
I also
Yeah.
think like this is huge. Okay, I talk to the people back home.
Wait, who are
Check
these
your-
people back home?
Your
we don't
listeners,
have any.
your listeners, they're listening right now. I'm not talking to you two. I'm talking to Susie in Oklahoma right
I
now.
was like, is he talking to people like from his hometown right now?
But shout out to Buffalo.
Who's this podcast?
But like, think about your inner circle and like, do those people check you? Do they keep you accountable? Because I think so many people just surround themselves with people they feel comfortable with, and because those people are comfortable, there's a lot of homogeneity. Because there's a lot of homogeneity, there's no growth. There's nothing, and so they live in echo chambers. And I think the most important thing is like make sure you have people in your corner that are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you acting like that? I don't agree with what you said." People that'll argue with you.
that you need
That's
that.
what you need.
Somebody's not
Because
afraid.
it creates growth, it creates opportunity for discussion, it creates depth. And so I think that's really important too.
So at your table, we would always say there's like seats at our table open for like a friendship or something.
Yeah.
Who's your board of directors?
Well, Evan's in that board of directors. He's right here. We own a few business together. We got David Arduin. He does the recaps with me on the podcast, so he'll be breaking down everything you said. Hawk Jameson, a lot of them are like just good friends I've had for quite some time now, decade plus.
But they all serve a purpose of checking you.
Oh, for sure. Every one of them. None of them are an echo chamber. Not one of them.
They're not just like a fun.
No. I mean, they're all fun, but they will all check me in a second.
They
Like
all
I will
serve
ask them on a topic, and it could have even been like my past relationship, and they will be like, "No, you're wrong here. You're totally wrong here." So I think that's important.
You know what I used to ask people when I was dating, and this is good for you too, going forward.
Turns like some of my little children here.
Yeah.
Oh, how the tide
Let
Give us
me-
advice.
Let me teach you a few things. No, God, you don't want to.
Isn't that crazy how it's changed so much?
How this-
Yeah, it's
Do
like
you know
nuts.
for
like
a year and
it's
a
like,
half?
What?
I was in the married seat and
Yeah.
I'm listening to this. She'd
Yeah.
roll in at 5 a.m. to
Unbelievable.
the office. I walked in one time and I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" She's like, "That date I went on last night at
Yeah.
7 for dinner. I got home at 5." And I'm like,
Wow.
That's what I would listen to.
Unbelievable.
Now she's like,
now
I'm-
look at this. Now you're getting at 5. You're going to Miami. You're partying.
Yeah.
You're having fun. You're doing
Going
your
for
thing.
work.
Yeah,
I'm very
work.
serious.
Work.
And she's like in a relationship now, and
Yeah.
it's just like the
It's
moments.
just the timing is just what's
Okay, so what
hilarious.
type of advice do you have
Oh.
for us lost humans trying to
So a
restart our
question-
entire foundation?
A question I just like to ask people was, if you were getting married tomorrow, who would be in your like bridesmaids or groomsmen?
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to see how people really think about that, because they're like, wait. Because I always am like, if you only could have 5 people.
Oh yeah, I could do that instantly.
Which is good. That means
Yeah.
you surround yourself with really good people. But
Yeah.
a lot of people I ask, they're like, I don't know. I only can think of like 1 or 2.
Interesting.
So it just gets them to think like who are the people they want in their life forever.
yeah.
I
How
don't actually
connected are
mean
you
like a
guys?
wedding.
Do you talk to your parents a lot?
yes, all the time.
I wonder about that too. I call my parents once a day at least.
Oh no, I don't do
Okay,
that.
well, that's good. That's nice. That's a lot. That's
Well,
good.
but we're just like tight. Like I wonder if there's anything with this inner circle, if relationship with parents have anything to do with it. That's what I was trying to get at.
Oh, no, because I have mine, but I talk to my parents maybe like every 2 to 3 weeks on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, you're every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Yeah.
middle. I'm probably every other
Yeah.
day.
I don't know that the one's right or wrong, by the way.
No, they're not
Like
right
I
or
probably
wrong.
talk to my parents too much.
But do you know what's obvious about you?
What?
Is that like, do you think that you can tell the person that has a strong relationship with their parents? Like that didn't surprise me one bit.
Interesting.
Where you from?
Buffalo.
New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew
North-
that about you immediately
You did.
Northeast-
Why? Why do you say that?
because you have this level of depth. You have a level of depth on one token.
Okay.
But you also have this like kind of moral foundation.
Okay.
Like, you don't seem like you would easily. You seem like mom and dad
Okay.
are holding you accountable.
Oh yeah.
Like, you can
Yeah,
feel that
yeah,
from him,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
they're holding me accountable.
I don't feel like you could just stray off the beaten path.
I
You seem
could,
like a
but they
family
bring me
man.
right back up.
Like you're very close with your family.
Yeah, very close
Yeah.
to my family. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like, okay, no, never.
Do you want kids? Do you want kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In a perfect world, how many?
Which is so funny because 6 months ago I'd be like, never, I'm not having
Really?
kids. Yeah.
Seriously? Did that shift because of the person you're with?
No, it shifted before him. I don't really know what happened.
She was she started out no kids ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were set on that.
Very set, yeah.
Interesting.
And one day I was walking down the street and I saw a mom and a son holding hands, and I had this like this maternal feeling I've never felt before in my life. And I was like, what is this? And then I was like, I think I want kids. And now I for sure want kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like
That's
2.
great.
No more than 2.
That's another thing they say, like absolutes are not a good thing in life. Like the idea of like, you said, I will never have kids. Like if you're sticking with absolutes your whole life, you're just like not challenging yourself or growing.
Yeah.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, 4.
4.
Want a
That's
little
awesome.
football team.
I want a little football team,
Yeah.
and I'm sure when I have 1, I'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
2 sounds good.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of that. And
Yeah.
and on the absolutes thing, every time I've made an absolute,
Yeah.
like if there's anything I've learned, it's that I should just stop saying them out loud at least.
Yeah, you should
Because
not.
I'm always like,
You're always gonna change. But if you're changing, that's good. That means you're growing. It means you're like pushing yourself.
yeah. You know what I don't think some people realize?
What's that?
People will say sometimes you've changed, and I want to say,
Thank you.
correct.
You're damn right. I
Because
have.
if I'm the same person I
Yeah.
was a year ago, I got problems.
Yeah, hell yeah. I
And you haven't
changed.
changed,
I hope
so
I
think
changed.
about that.
Yeah, you're stuck in the same exact thing that you've been doing the same day every day.
That's so
Fuck
true.
that.
Do you want kids?
Yes.
How many?
3.
You know how many you want.
I mean, you knew.
Yeah, I would say we all knew.
Good arguer over here. Killing it.
Don't say it's because he's a guy.
1-0.
I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of guys are like, I mean, I'm down, but like she can pick.
Yeah.
He's so like, family oriented.
3
That
would be
doesn't
great.
surprise me.
That
Yeah.
he's thought about it.
Yeah.
So you can next this question. Yeah, I don't want to.
Fire away. Ask it. I'll let you know.
We do have a producer who can.
Well, yeah, I could just say no.
What up, Sean? Yeah, you could say, but
What's the question?
I'll
just say pass if I don't like it.
okay. Well, I'll ask.
Do we
you
have a
this.
safe word? Give me a safe word.
Just say pass.
Pass is the safe word.
I'm so interested
Can we create
in this
a safe
question.
word,
I'm like,
Amy?
what is this gonna be?
Yeah, it's shut the fuck up. Is the safe word.
Yeah. No, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. No. So when I was married, I knew I always wanted kids.
Yeah.
But I started to feel less like I wanted them.
Yeah.
Now I want them more than ever.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you have that experience, or you just
No.
always wanted them?
And through the entirety of my relationship, I always wanted them, and always do,
Okay.
and that didn't change.
It didn't. It never changed.
No, it never changed.
But do you think about like when you go to look for like another partner in life?
Yeah.
Do you factor in like what kind of mom they'll be?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I think that's like
Yeah.
massive.
I think that's important, but sorry, you can swear on this podcast, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Is swearing aloud.
So he's
not
never
very
listened.
familiar with. No.
He hasn't listened to an episode, and he damn sure didn't.
I'm totally kidding. I know your podcast is wild.
Yeah. We can talk about choking.
Well, like the
69,
Kelly.
but
Yeah, I've heard
don't
it all.
you say
yeah,
fuck.
Kelly Keegs, you guys threw down, and yeah. What was that about again? You guys said something stupid in the podcast or something.
Do you
You
think
like, see
dinosaurs
how
are real?
You think I just
Do you wash
spun
your
that on you? Okay.
Do you wash your hands?
Yes. Do you wash your hands?
No.
Nah.
You don't ever wash your hands?
Nope. Oh yeah, we're viral again. We
Interesting.
just went viral. Thank you for that.
Wow, love that.
You think dinosaurs are real?
Canceled.
Of course they're real.
It's not for sure.
You don't think they're real?
I'm not sure. I'm
Oh
just
my
saying
God.
we're lacking
Are you one of those
evidence.
people that think like the moon is fake?
No, I don't think about dinosaurs, so
Kinda.
I'm not positive that they're real.
Wild.
I
What was the
haven't
last question you asked?
Oh,
Do you think about the type of mom?
when you look at women,
Oh
do you
yes,
think about the type
but
of
I
mom
think what I think more is like,
Just a great
do you
question.
have the ability to parent as a unit? That I think is even more important.
The guy's done some EQ work.
I love that.
I think that is huge because you see so many like parenting where they're taking the resentment out on one another and they're like angling with kids and trying to get the favorite and all like that is just a nightmare. Not only for you, not only for your partner, but then for your family and your kid. They're gonna see that, they're gonna feel that. So I think that's the most important. Can you work as a unit, compromise, work together, and figure that out?
It's just hard to respond to because it's really smart.
Well, it is. I think when you're dating, like you should be
Take it.
looking at that person to see if they'll make a good,
Yeah.
not only partner, but a good mother or father to your kids? Like, I used to think about that. I'm like, will this guy be a good father to my future kids?
Well, it is everything. And the way you do
Yeah.
it together, I do think would be the most, because there's nothing worse. Like, how was it with you guys? If you went to mom and mom said no, was it very clear that dad was going to align with her, or was dad going to maybe say yes, and then we had a 50-50 split?
Dad would always say
I would
no.
always go from dad to mom, and they were always like almost always aligned. I might get them here or there, but they were almost always aligned.
But would your mom ever say, have you asked your dad? And would your dad say?
Yes, that's what she would say.
That's what
Yeah.
mine were like, we're not
Yeah.
splitting. Like, you can't split us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't hustle us.
Right.
We're not going to get hustled.
No.
Yeah,
And I think that's
exactly.
like really healthy.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge.
Because some parents, I think, will do the thing where they try to buy the
Yeah,
favoritism.
I think
Yeah,
so.
like
yeah,
that's
totally.
not.
Yeah, can't do that.
So one of the things that Graham had asked me when we were having like our phone calls after we were separated,
Okay.
he said one night, he was like, let me ask you this. Would you want your daughter to date me?
Mm.
And I thought, no.
Sorry, that just in my head it got turned weird.
Well, not him specifically, but like if you had a daughter
Yeah.
and him and her.
I need a very
I know what it
weird
means,
context.
but it's,
I thought it was the sweetest question on
No,
the
I
planet.
see what I
is,
see.
but sorry, in
the
my
intention
head-
is like amazing. It was
Right?
just it's worded a little weird.
I was still
Did I
thinking.
but
word
the
it like him as an
intention's
act-
like incredible.
Yeah, I still was
Yeah.
thinking Graham would be the father, and that's your
Like if you said if you had a son, would you approve for your son to date Jordyn? That's like
Yeah.
a friend, not like you're having a daughter and then she's dating dad.
Or would you approve to date my brother?
At
Like,
my
that
next-
works
Right,
too.
it's- they're the
yeah.
same
That
age.
would
Yeah,
work.
Yeah, that's a little bit more appropriate.
Great intention. Question was a little off.
Bad delivery.
But I'd
Yeah.
want you to date
Delivery.
Colton, my brother.
Right,
That's
like-
Yes,
better, yeah.
there we go.
Would you allow? Yeah.
Full circle there.
I thought it was cute that he asked that.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said, yeah, I absolutely would love it. I just, if my daughter's not exactly like me, right? Like that, we see this now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And he
yeah.
said the same thing back. But I
Yeah.
thought it was a cute question.
No, that is a good. It's a.
Can I ask you a question? And I don't want it back, but can I ask
You're
you?
getting it back. You're
I'm
getting it
not
back.
gonna answer it
I
back.
could ask it right now, but to you because I know what you're gonna ask. But yeah.
What am I going to ask?
Well, no, you go.
Okay. What do you think the number one reason that you guys did not work out? Was it like compatibility? Was it not seeing eye to eye in the future? Like if you had to pinpoint one thing, and is that thing a workable thing or no?
The number one reason, if I got to go with a one, would be difference in life path forward.
That's a big one.
That's
That's a really big one.
and a lack of desire, perhaps, to merge them. No, it wasn't a lack of desire to merge them. There was no world where the two could meet.
As a unit. Yeah.
As a unit.
Which is so, whatever you said, so important.
It's
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
like one of us was going to end up really unhappy.
Yeah.
But one of my friends had the best thing because Graham and I went through a really hard time
Mm-hmm.
before we were married. It was like the turning point, right? She said, at first I wanted to ask you, did you do everything and could you get through it?
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, but I know the answer to that is you two could get through it. Like you could definitely get through this if you had to. Like gun to
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
head, if someone's like, solve this problem, solved, right? And
Yeah.
But it's like, that's not what either of us really want.
Yeah. Interesting. I think that's great.
I'm not going to ask you that back. Yeah, I thought
Thank
you were going to ask something different.
Well, you already did like your whole thing about your relationship and all that. So it's a good little touch point a couple weeks after.
We could have.
You know what else?
we could have another
This was
listener if
interesting.
you-
I had a therapist. My therapist told me this. I found fascinating. I said a scenario. I was like, it was a hypothetical. Like, well, what if I meet the person of my dreams in 3 months or something like that? And her response to me was, if you come into my office and in 2-3 months from now, you told me you met the one and you're getting married, I'm going to ask you to sign a form. And then after signing that form's going to allow me to slap you in the face, and I'm going to slap you in the face. And I was like, wow. I was like laughing. That's the type of relationship I have with her. She's amazing. But I was interesting. And I think a lot of people, when they go through heartbreaks or when they go through challenges, they're so quick to either like numb. And then she said that they should say, I would ask you, what are you feeling in your life that you're not getting? And I was like, damn, deep. Oh, so I think a lot of people too, when you asked about the whole like, what's it like, 35 singles, they rush to find the solution. They find the Band-Aid. They got to fix it. They got to numb it. And the problem is you're just repeating the same behavior that got you to where you are. And so, yeah, that's been a journey.
So is the overall vibe right now on you?
Mm-hmm.
What are we focusing on?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah. Like someone the other day said, like, where, like your friend, like is a friend to you, where am I? Like, he asked me, am I your water? Am I your bread? Am I your appetizer? Am I your main course? Like, I want to be your main course. Am I your dessert?
Yeah.
He said that. And I was like, I have one main course. Like, things have changed in my life. There's one main course, and the only thing on that main course is me. Like, right now, that's where I'm at. And so, that was my answer.
So he's asking, but do your friends play a role in that, or are you like, no, I got me? Like,
my friends play a role in it, but I'm like, I'm just so focused on trying to take care of myself right now and like what I need and figuring out my like everything that I'm just like, yeah, it's the main course and it's just me right now.
Have you heard of the 5 stages of grief?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but was that like a thing for you?
Of course. Yeah, well, it still is.
So I was telling her, like, for me,
Yeah.
it was one, like, something my therapist said was there's also the 4 tasks of grief.
Yeah.
And it's like acknowledging the problem, saying it out loud.
Yeah.
And then number 2, you feel it.
Yep.
Like, and you really feel it. So every time it comes up, instead of putting a Band-Aid on it, you have to just feel what's happening.
Totally.
And then you feel more whole on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And then you say, all right, what do I need to get through it? And so you say, all right, I need to take care of myself. I need to like water the plant. I need to meditate. I need to journal. I need to work out. Like, put that first, like protect the brain.
Yep.
And then number 4 is like, let it give you purpose.
Ooh, I love that.
And I feel like you're between 3 and 4.
3 and 4. But I also think with grieving, what's really important is people think about it like a checkbox. Like, okay, I'm going to go through this stage and this stage, and then I'm going to go through anger, and then I'm going to acceptance. That's not how it's going to work. Like, you're going to bounce between them. You're going to have like the grieving of sadness. You're going to go back to clearing. You're going to go back to acceptance. Like, you're going to have all these different stages, and it doesn't just sound like an equation. You just check the box. Like, here, got my A+, done grieving. That's just not how life works.
That's why I didn't like the stages, because I was like, so I'm supposed to just get really mad at some point?
Yeah,
like, I might not.
But like, that's what I've learned too. Like, when you are mad, you know what anger is, right? Mm-hmm. Anger is your truth. So like, anytime you're angry, it's literally just your truth. And the difference, though, there's a big difference between raging and anger. So raging, when people rage, it's because they're fearful. So like when people stormed the Capitol January 6th, that was rage. That was like the depth of their psychological behavior there was they were scared shitless. So they were fearful. So that's why they're raging. But with anger, it's like you're just speaking your truth. Anger is just your truth.
Rage is fear.
Yeah.
Anger
is truth.
Is truth.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Jordan's mad. You're late. You're 20 minutes late. Jordan's mad at you. That's her anger. She's mad. Like,
that's
obviously
truth.
That's traumatic. But her truth is like, I feel whatever it is. Like, if you're getting deep, like that was inconsiderate, whatever it might be, right? That's her truth.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
so her feeling is her truth.
Anger, a secondary emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's always like remember the emotion?
That's what I was trying to
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. Was that that's a secondary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's your truth. And then raging is
I have it on my phone.
Fear. Yeah, I got that wheel.
Yeah,
all
my
over
therapist
house.
she's like whenever you
Learn
have an
your
emotion,
emotions.
pinpoint, and I'm
When
like,
I go
okay.
in, she puts the cards down and it's all the emotions because I'm an Enneagram 3, so we don't talk about emotions. So like, she's like, here they are. How are you feeling? And I'll be like, well, I feel great. She's like, that's not how you feel.
Yeah.
That's not a feeling.
Can't do that. I got to get what I'm learning on both sides. She's going back to therapy. So we like love therapy.
Yeah.
And we call it a green flag. Almost called it a green card. But we call it a green, like, yes, right? And I think that when I'm not in therapy, I feel myself get into an emotional knot, right? And I'm like, I can't like straighten it out. And I think that this whole process, I was in it.
Yeah.
And I stopped going like a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I think some of these emotions could haunt me, but I always say, let's play offense, not defense on them.
Yes, love that.
And I think that maybe I should get back. You just awoken
Get back
me.
into it. I got a question. Can I ask you one more relationship question? You just had a relationship podcast.
But
Yeah, but
you're
this
not the
episode's
host.
coming out
okay, all right.
a while.
No,
after.
ask
It's
it.
just a conversation.
Ask
Yeah,
it.
please ask.
Do you
We're-
think
we're kidding.
have you had acceptance yet with your breakup?
I thought he was going to say, have you gone on dates? And I was like, can you not?
No, I'm not going. Come on, I'm not trying to
He's like,
ruin
unless
your
it's with me.
tea. That's your next
Just kidding.
episode.
And for the record, I accept. Just kidding. We're all like, just kidding. And now I'm flustered and I don't know the question.
Where are we going? No, I'm just kidding.
Just Jordan leave and we'll be on the date.
That's it. Oh, boy.
What's the question?
you
Do I have
accepted?
acceptance? Yes.
No.
Unwavering.
Trauma bonding. It's like, we're drawing the bonding.
What hole are you trying to fill? All of them for both of us. So 2 halves make a whole. So we're
Train
good.
wreck. Yeah.
So we might just be.
Oh, God.
I have acceptance. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this to sound bad, but almost.
Too much.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't
That
know.
doesn't sound bad though, because you've been dealing with it for a very long time.
And I hope that he says the same thing.
Yeah.
But I have acceptance.
It's okay if he doesn't, though. He could be on his own journey.
That's true. To each
Yeah.
their own.
Yeah.
I would say I have acceptance and complete affirmation that what happened was the dead right thing to do.
Beautiful. It's perfect.
Do you have acceptance?
Well, this isn't my dating show.
This is literally our podcast where we interview you.
I'm going to pass on that one.
Should we ask some finance questions?
She's like, we're dates off. No, I'm just kidding. There's
I'm
no
like,
date.
we're asking you the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
No,
but
but
none
I-
of them were
we-
relationship.
We
Don't
have
answer.
we have boundaries. Remember boundaries. If we accept them,
Boundaries.
we're healthy people.
Boundaries, healthy people.
Yep.
Boundaries.
That's me, and I accept that. You know what?
Healthy people set boundaries, and the person across from you is healthy if they
I
accept
thought,
those boundaries.
we were talking finance on this show. Jeez. I've done pretty good.
You've done
I
very
stepped
good.
into it a little bit.
You kind of did.
Yeah,
You
what I-
had that tough conversation.
This is gonna be a
Well, I
great
told you, I
episode.
was like, I don't want to talk about the relationship,
Yeah.
and here we are.
And I told her we were going to, and we
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Okay, due
It's
to
cool. Is this
Alex
an argument?
Bennett,
It's our first argument.
You did say though you were down. We asked
Yeah,
you.
no, it's true.
And
it's
we're
true.
recording, so that's
yeah,
a
yeah,
fact.
yeah.
due to you missing your flight almost, we have some
Oh my God,
finance
we do have to-
questions.
yes.
Listener questions.
Was that our first argument or no?
That doesn't count because I won immediately.
Well, you have to go on a date first, so which that
Oh,
was the
boy.
biggest question in the DMs.
Oh, it
When
was.
are Jason and Alex gonna go on a date?
Wow. People are trying to set it up, eh?
The listeners are trying to set you guys up.
Interesting.
So see if we
Jason's
did.
like, no. Nah, that's gonna be a next for me. I'm gonna swipe left.
Are you moving to New York?
Are people asking that?
No, well I know you don't.
Like
live
in a
here
perfect
now.
world?
Yeah.
There's been a
Since your future girlfriend
conversation.
lives here.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't do long distance. So let's make that very
Well,
clear.
I'm thinking about getting a place in New York.
Okay, cool.
But I would still stay in Nashville too. My primary residence would be in Nashville.
Okay.
But I'm
that a tax
thinking
play?
about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what got you? The whole thing? That's when you laughed? Wait, what was funny about it?
It's true. It's true. Oh, God. I thought it was funny too. I don't know. It was the delivery, I think.
It was the delivery.
Yeah.
It was
I
the
couldn't tell if
delivery.
it was facetious or like you're intrigued. I don't know.
Oh no, I was actually asking.
I know you. Yeah.
Yeah, especially being in I feel like the finance world. I
Yeah.
think New York City. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong.
No,
Wall Street.
there's nothing screams more like. I think you need to be in New York.
Why, so
I
we
would be
can
like
hang out
very
with you?
bullish on that thought.
Really?
Look at
you
you
dropping like little finance terms.
I think from a
Bullish.
business
Right about-
Now
standpoint
you're
too,
trying
it's
to
the best
flirt.
place to be.
100%. I think.
I heard that. I was
No,
just
not
feeling
now,
sad.
but
I'm starting to get really uncomfortable. I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna go. You guys can finish up.
Bye, Jordan.
we're good here.
Chris is like, yeah, I'm
God.
up too.
I also, but I actually to be
New
on the next.
co-host, mean girl, mean guy, lost in fucking the
The amount of
world.
times you've heard that one.
We about to sit here and cry though.
Yeah, just like, fuck, I was therapy this week. I'm not over it. No,
I
I'm
didn't
just
go
kidding.
yet, so you tell me how yours was. Okay, we have to ask him a finance question.
God.
Yes, let's pick one finance question to ask him.
And then we literally have to wrap. I mean, the flight's it's getting close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. What do you got?
Well, I want to ask you what. I like his questions back version.
Okay, yeah, let's do those. Should you do rapid fire?
Go.
No, you know.
All right. Well, can you answer these like quickly?
Sure, let's
Go
go.
rapid fire.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Tips on
You're
making.
like you're very long-winded. Just shut the fuck up.
So this
Might
is
as well
Twitter.
just tell me.
And you don't have the pro one, so
Yeah.
you have to.
Yeah.
All right. Tips on making a secondary income.
Secondary.
Wait, no, I thought you were gonna ask these.
Well, then I decided to popcorn around,
Oh, okay,
and
I'll
I didn't
ask,
decide
okay.
to tell you about that. I was going to do
okay.
So
that.
that's not a rapid fire question.
That's a
for
rapid
the
fire
first-
question. We should answer it.
Okay, you can trade secondary income for just think passive income. Like you can take money, redeploy it, and as a result of that, get money back. Or you can trade in your time. So some type of skill set or time. You train your time, then you can get paid hourly. Think about Uber, things like that. So first, just think: am I going to take money and make money on it with passive income, or am I going to substitute my time for earnings?
Oh.
That's a good starting space.
I'm taking option one.
Okay, there you go.
What's your podcast generate? That's an Alex question.
How much money do we generate? I don't. What do you think it does? Like 400,000? A little north of that? 500,000? I think it fluctuates.
Okay.
500,000, not 650.
I want to do back to
But
you.
then
what you
again,
did.
there's only one host, so
Facts.
So if you double it, if you had two, yeah,
We do have to split everything.
That's
I do.
true.
I do.
That's
And I
true.
do. And by the way, I say that very openly because I always talk about finances openly when people are like, I'm not trying to say that in a braggadocious manner. There's good years, bad years, but one episode every year, I do a Jason Tells All episode where the guy who does the recaps with me asks me everything. How much did you make in influencing? What'd you make on this post? What'd you make? So I do one episode every year where I talk about that. Like
I
what
love
make.
that. I love
Yeah.
the transparency because a lot of people are afraid to talk about money. So.
Yeah, I'm very
That's
open.
awesome.
And I think you need to talk about it for the good and bad, right? Like the more you just talk about it, the better off you're going to be because there's going to be ways to help it. Because every person has a money issue. Every person. All of us here have a money issue. What is it? It's going to be different. So let's just talk about it.
Love that.
There was a thing. No, I can't do that right now because it's
Yeah.
just a tangent. All right. Did you ask?
catch.
Did you ask a question? Am I
Yeah,
up?
the podcast generator. Yeah.
Okay. What's the biggest thing you've ever bought? Biggest item. Oh, sorry.
Ouch.
Oh.
Jesus.
For yourself. For yourself.
For myself.
For yourself. What's the biggest thing you've bought in yourself?
Jewelry. Got it.
Jesus, Alex.
Put it in
Down to the
category.
heart.
Sorry.
No, for yourself.
I bought a Rolex Daytona, all gold Rolex Daytona. That was probably the biggest one. No, this one's the Sky Dweller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's pretty.
that's pretty. The other
pretty.
one's nice. The other one's nicer than this.
It was more expensive, I guess.
Yeah, but the only reason I bought that is because Rolexes hold their value well. And so it's something that I've always liked, I've always enjoyed, and I can resell it instantly for more than I bought it for. So there's a whole thing with buying those. So that's kind of the process. So I was like, okay with buying it. Because I know it's an investment. I know I can return it and sell it and get a profit instantly.
You can profit on a watch,
On Rolexes specifically, yes.
and aren't they kind of? You can't get them right now, right?
Well, it's softened a little bit, but you have to go through a direct Rolex dealer, and then it's very hard to get in there. But once you get in there, they have to sell it at a certain price. Rolex is actually a non-for-profit company, and so as a result of that, the secondary market is where they're selling at exorbitant amounts. So if you can buy one from a Rolex direct, you can sell it at a profit instantly.
They don't. They're a not-for-profit company.
Yeah, they're a not-for-profit. The other thing that's interesting is a lot of people do why they hold their value so much. There's a lot of reasons, but people launder money through watches. So if you're think about you're in Europe and you're trying to bring over 100K, you bring over 100K cash, you're screwed. You can easily put a $100,000 watch and not have it so bedazzled, and no one could really know or not if it's a $100,000 watch. Then you can go to the States and instantly liquidate it for cash. So it's interesting in that play too.
So if you ever see a guy with like a bunch of watches on,
Yeah, big watch guys,
Interesting.
watch out for those dudes.
that's okay. That's fascinating. One more. All right. What's your biggest flaw financially?
Ooh.
That's a good one. I'm too risk averse.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Can you
I don't take
explain
enough
what
shots.
that means?
Yeah, so risk. So
The
I love
opposite
that.
of
So risk averse. I know you guys got a rap here, but think about you go to a casino with like 10 of your girlfriends. You might have one girlfriend who's like, "I'm gonna bet $500 on red. Like, let's get crazy." Then you have one girl that's like, "I'm just gonna go and like get the free drinks. I'm not betting anything." So that is the difference of people that are very risk averse versus people that aren't risk averse. The person who is putting $500 on red, they're not risk averse. The person who's like, I'm just gonna get free drinks, they're risk averse. They're not taking the risk on. So with investing, you have to know what your appetite is for risk because it will depend on what you decide to invest in. So if you are risk averse, you'll invest in something that is less risky. And as a result of it, your swings aren't going to be as high. You're not going to gain as much, but you're not going to lose as much. If you're someone just ripping it, you're extremely risky. You have huge upside, massive downside. So that's what risk averse means.
I'm risk adverse. You're not.
And, well, I was going to say, and then there's the calculated risk that put 50 on.
Yeah.
She knew she could afford
Yeah.
to lose that.
Exactly.
the
Moderate
middle.
risk is what we call that.
Moderate risk.
Moderate risk.
Yeah, I would be I'm like 1,000 on the red with the high up and a
This
low.
is moderate.
I'm like, I'm
Alex
just here for the
Bennett.
free drinks.
And
Risk averse.
I'll go broke. We've got to immediately wrap.
Alex
Okay.
is going to miss a flight.
Yes.
So, Jason, thank you so much for coming on the pod.
Thank
This
you
was
so
a fun
much for having
episode.
me.
I was
This
not
was
expecting
great.
it to be like this type of conversation.
Me either.
All directions. I love it.
Yeah, you're very versatile, which is nice.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
you're
you're
really
welcome.
pumping my tires, AB.
Ooh, throwing the AB out there. Okay.
We got another laugh.
He's only laughing at your jokes.
Yeah.
He's not that
My
funny. That's
guy.
not helping.
That's my guy. I feel great leaving this
I'm not
episode.
the one
I'm
pumping
out of
his
here.
tires.
Go get your flight.
Plug yourself.
Thank you.
No,
Oh, yes.
plug.
What are you saying?
There's a lot of rumors are going to come from this
Holy
episode.
fuck. Plug what?
Where
Like
do
your
they find
socials.
you?
Oh, yeah. So my name is Jason. She still hasn't introduced me yet. But my name is Jason. My last name's Tartic. Tartick. That's my handle. The podcast, Trading Secrets. Definitely check it out. Alex is coming on here. It's going to be a cool episode before she was at Barstool and then after, all in one show. And then I have a new book coming out called Talk Money to Me, and you can pre-order it now on Amazon. So that's everything.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah. Thank you guys for
thank
having
you.
me. Appreciate
and
it.
Just like do the thing where you like and subscribe and follow.
Yeah, go
Love
do
you guys.
all that.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.